that we get a little bit more of a playable draft here for Dplus Kia. Nongshim had it pretty much figured out exactly how they wanted to play.
I think, honestly, Dplus, given the draft that they had, actually gave it a decent go of it in the later stages, but I think, as sort of the space alluded to, had a rough hand to go into it. Very uphill battle. So, you know, if they come in even or ahead in draft, better lanes, not losing all 3 lanes, definitely expect them to do a lot better. Maybe, you know, patch up some of the holes in the glass. They could be in a great spot. Now, last draft, we saw a lot of just really, you know, frequent OPs banned away. And the fact that we're seeing Nocturne banned here does interest me, because last time we saw Dplus ban Pantheon, Karma, Orianna. So they changed something up. Now they're going Nocturne Bard ban, so Karma and Orianna both available. Nongshim ban Poppy. Honestly, you can kind of let Poppy go through, not a big deal.
Yeah.
Do you ban Karma? Do you ban Ori? Do you let them both go through and trade? That's the question. We have seen Karma banned every single game so far, and that will not stop.
Karma's not allowed.
6 out of 6 in the LCK regular season for bans. Rumble, the only other pick to match that record. And I expect it's going to be Orianna picked up here for Dplus on the first pick. Then again, Ryze is also available. So they will just take that instead.
Yeah, Ryze makes a lot of sense for the player. I think ShowMaker is fantastic on this pick nowadays, and it is still very strong, so can just go ahead and pick that one up. Scout, though, might just go ahead and pick up the Ori. You could also go for the Talia, which we used to see in the past.
We did also
or the Cassiopeia.
See in the KT T1 series, BDD doing work on the Ryze into the Ori matchup, so maybe hoping to replicate some of that. Nocturne Ori is gone. Jarvan Ori, still something that you can run, still a strong combo. So I imagine I'm going to be leaning towards that. Honestly, you could have gone like... You could have gone something like Jarvan Ezreal and like denied Ezreal away and then gone Ori on 3, but maybe didn't want to feel too hamstrung there. Rapid fire, though, from Dplus. They're just going to go Ambessa, Jayce. Technically, it's double flexes, but we've been seeing a lot more top Jayce. So I expect it's going to be jungle Ambessa, top Jayce in this situation. Jayce jungle did get nerfed a good amount.
Yeah.
So...
Also, Lucid's played a lot of Ambessa jungle, so I think that's right in his wheelhouse. Looking for the Zahen, maybe, or just Cassante, kind of a more classic response.
I think, honestly, Dplus pretty happy with what they got so far, right? Having the Ryze in the situation, Ambessa, that strong skirmishing jungler. You know, you have the point-and-click setup from the Ryze. If you hit level 6 on the Ambessa, root the Orianna, easy follow-up for the Ambessa to set up a kill mid lane. Jayce is going to have a pretty fine time into the Cassante top lane to farm up and be strong. And you're matching lane for lane in this early draft. We are going to see that Ezreal banned away. You know, I was talking about maybe they want to pick it as a denial. They are just going to ban it. Take away one of those picks that can easily circumvent the Cataclysm and, in fairness, the Orianna combo as well. That is one thing, is that, you know, you have that reliable combo. You want to be finding targets that you can easily connect onto. But you see the Lulu ban come through. You know, Yunara is something that is still available, was banned in second rotation of the last draft. Won't be able to go Yunara Lulu, but that pick still can do a lot of work. And I feel like Nongshim particularly do need DPS with their composition. They have the upfront burst, the engage, the setup. I think they need some throughput in that composition.
Yeah, not a bad shout. I think the Lulu makes a lot of sense as well. And with their frontline, Nami going to be taken away. Corki is something that's still out there, but...
Corki and Lucian. I mean, Corki into Jarvan is something you definitely expect to see.
Yeah.
Another one of those safe 80 carries they can kind of avoid. And also just operate at a distance. You can kind of play with your rockets. Now, you could still pick Corki into Jarvan, but we've kind of seen seen him fall off a bit without the Nami, not be as prioritized. Just a lot of support bans coming through in this situation.
And I feel like Lehends always wins in that case. I don't feel like Career can really step up to Lehends' champion Ocean when it comes to a lot of bans coming into the support role.
And Lehends has counter pick again. Remember, it was Dplus who got first pick in game 1, and they've gone for it again, despite the punishment they kind of faced with counter pick. In fairness, they got first pick Ryze, so, you know, it's not like they didn't get a benefit from it.
Yeah.
But it will be Yunara secured for Taeyoon. Pick he can definitely provide that DPS I felt like they needed. And then they have Lehends prepped to match whatever comes through here. Looking like it might just be the Corki having that mobility, that safety to avoid the combo, the Cataclysm. But without the Nami, I mean, even we've seen like Corki, Nami into Yunara Lulu have a bad time. It isn't going to be Yunara Lulu, but it's not going to be Corki, Nami.
Yeah, now you gotta once again pick blind here for the side of Career. And at least he can't blind pick Alistair again. He is going to go for Leona, it looks like. Or Poppy. Definitely switching through a lot of different options here, but he eventually does land on Leona.
I think they needed some engage, because as much as they have the Ambessa ultimate, it's not super reliable. You want lockdown to come in first. And, you know, Ryze Room Prison isn't that great to be your only, okay, we Room Prison into a public execution. That's not like a great strategy as your form of engage onto Yunara, so having an engage support makes sense for them.
Oh, he's smiling. Oh, just gonna play Nautilus. Maybe he wanted to play something more fun, but they were like, no, play Nautilus.
I mean, Nautilus is a classic of Lehends. Definitely something he has a lot of comfort on. And just wanted to provide that engage for the team. Yeah, I think Dplus doing a lot better in this draft than the last one. You know, top lane matchup's going to be good. We saw BDD having a great time in the Ryze into Orianna matchup yesterday, so we'll see if ShowMaker can do the same. And the bot lane matchup, honestly, Corki, Leona into Yunara, Nautilus, they should be doing fine there too. So much better lanes so far. And also in the late game, if you blow up the Yunara, if you get on top of it, you don't have the best composition to do that, but you have a good amount of poke. You have some tools to do so. If you explode Yunara, I feel like the Nongshim composition kind of falls flat. And it's not even like you have to kill her, just chunk her out. As long as she's chunked out, she takes a shock blast, maybe a big one for the Corki, that is enough to really just make it very hard for Nongshim to team fight.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a good call. Like, there was a bunch of options for Taeyoon, but they really needed damage, and that kind of leaves him in a position where he needs to play consistent Yunara without a Lulu. It's not going to be an easy call for him. And so Dplus Kia will see if they can bring back some of that great gameplay from behind, and this time maybe in a more even game state as we head onto the Rift for game number 2. Level 1 in my LCK 2026? Okay, well, ShowMaker's going to be chunked out.
You know, we were seeing a lot more level 1s at, you know, well, not only at First Dam, but some other regions were doing them more. You know, Siwoo was one of the regions doing more. And I think part of it is that, because obviously with the game starting quicker, with them speeding up the time for like lanes to start, it made people think, oh, there's like no time for us to do level 1s. But something that actually developed as well is there's no time to respond to level 1s. So like, if you have like a TF mid and he walks bot lane and you 3-man bot, there's not really much you can do to counterplay that. Like, you just get a kill, and then he just walks back mid, and you miss a bit of farm, but like,
yeah,
there's limit, unless you're like prepped in advance for this strategy, there's like not a ton you can do about it. So I wonder if we see teams once again, you know, developing level 1 strategies. A lot of trading coming out. Taeyoon getting wave access. I think this is the big thing with Yunara. Can you hit the wave? If the answer is yes, you're in a good spot. you get that passive stacked up, you get a ton of damage. The answer is no. Well, let's see how that goes. ShowMaker...
Yeah, remember he got chunked out of level 1. Now he's going to ghost back to lane. But...
You know, he goes back. It's not the longest cooldown. He gets a refillable, but you're recalling before you get your tier. It's not great.
Yeah, not a good feel. A lot of damage goes into Lehends, but it does feel like they're trying to take aggressive trades here, Taeyoon and Lehends, and get Taeyoon into a position where he can just chunk them out a little bit.
Oh, Smash missed so much farm there. Korea didn't walk up to kind of help him, assist him with some of those minions. Maybe he just didn't want to take the poke, but definitely on the back foot. Something to take in mind as well is that Taeyoon has cleanse, like, of course he has cleanse in Leona, but so much of the meta bot lane has been about barrier heal and using those summoners to trade. Like, having cleanse is great for all-ins, but it does make you a lot weaker when you're trying to use them for tempo trades, right? Popping the barrier to negate damage so you can stay in lane.
ShowMaker just walked all the way in, stomped the back of Scout, but he has TP. So at the end of the day, I don't think Scout really cares all too much.
I think it makes sense in the fact that if you let him recall and get the TP off, he'd be in a worse spot. By keeping him there and stopping the TP, it buys more time for ShowMaker. And now ShowMaker's getting off a recall where he feels good.
And
Scout's
able to push it in.
And now he has his tier.
He did it. He got his tier.
Yeah.
On the rise. Feels good. Still going to be a little bit behind on CS, but that's just okay. Just a little bit early on.
Yeah, I think the lane definitely not going how he'd hoped with how it started. But yeah, and Lehends playing the matchup pretty well. This sort of brings me back. There was this Core JJ video years ago where he talked about the Nautilus Leona matchup and how a lot of people for the longest time favored Leona. You know, you pick Nautilus, they're like, oh, I want Leona. That's a good matchup. Leona's tankier. The Q's really low cooldown. If you get stuck in melee range, it's better for the Leona. But Core JJ favored the Nautilus because of this interaction. Because if you're good with the Dredge line, you can interrupt the Zenith Blade. And I remember this was like a really popular video, and Lehends definitely taken a note out of that book, and you know, being confident to bring it out in this matchup and really just playing the matchup well. Also to note, he has Glacial Augment versus Korea's Aftershock, so he is way squishier. So if he gets stuck in melee range, he's paper. In comparison, absolutely.
Kingen? Okay. He is going to have to flash that.
Speaking of paper,
yeah, we also had Career making his way up there. There was a ward. So they really wanted to punish Kingen. It's probably good communication from Siwoo saying, I've got him kind of on the ropes here. Let's try to make something happen. But at the end of the day, they're just going to get his flash. Scout is going to find himself a Leona as well in the mid lane. Bit of burst damage, but no kill pressure.
Yeah, I mean, he still gets value out of his time, right? You know, he doesn't have to be bought yet. Gets a bit of assistance towards ShowMaker in the mid lane, helping him out. And as much as he wasn't able to help top, at least he provided some cover, so if there was a gank or something, Siwoo wouldn't really be able to be punished.
All right, here it is. The level 5 Scuttle fight. Trying to get Sponge his level 6.
You know what? I think they're going to do it.
And DK didn't come down here to flip it this time into an Avia with Alistar. Definitely a very different feel.
No, remember last time they fought after the enemy jungler had level 6 already. So there's still time to do that.
I suppose that's true.
There's still a chance for them to
maybe
fight.
On the dragon.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think they should, but we'll see. Maybe perhaps just wait for your own level 6. It's pretty good for Ambessa.
It's probably a good idea. Taeyoon in an awkward spot, but he seems to be just fine. Still a good trade for Smash.
Yeah, Ambessa's one of those champions who just gets a lot for leveling up your ult. They're the freebies. I don't know if you've seen like Pantheon, Zahen, Ambessa just gets a ton of armor pen when they skill up their ultimates just for free, just passively, you know. So Ambessa also gets healing It's pretty crazy. So even if you don't actually press your ult in the fight, you just get armor pen and healing.
You're just stronger.
Just better. Better than these older champions, you know?
Does Ryze get anything when
That's
levels
the
up his
difference.
ult?
Yes, he actually does.
He does.
Would you believe?
Okay.
His Q, you know, the what's it actually called? You know, like when he has the flux on them and his Q does bonus damage? It increases with his ranks and his ultimate.
Wow.
So crazy.
But also, Ryze has been reworked like 8,000 times, so maybe he's not the best
well, that's the thing, is it's new champs or reworked champs, right?
Yeah.
Because it's Pantheon and Ryze have both got reworked, and it's new champions. That's the thing. If you're suffering as a champion, if you're like, I want some passive power, you need to get reworked.
Just get reworked.
Just get reworked.
All of like the OTPs of that champ should just, you know...
Just pitch it.
Yeah.
Like if you're like, wow, Nautilus feels so squishy nowadays, just get reworked, and I guarantee new ult whenever you skill it. Oh, I get 30 armor and MR. Great. Sounds good. I'm not squishy anymore.
Yeah. Although you have to target your ult now for some reason, because that's kind of just the way things go.
But it CCs for twice as long and does triple damage. Just, I don't know.
So they get AoE when it hits the target. I mean, it kind of is, but it's a much larger AoE now. Oh, a little play here from Sponge, trying to get in onto ShowMaker, who does not have his flash. Used it on the earlier shockwave, and that's just going to be first blood given over to Scout, and Taeyoon gets away down here.
Yeah, pretty good gank. And you know, I was talking about the matchup we saw the other day. Like, Orianna is pretty respected in the mid lane for just being such a powerful laner. Even after she got the nerfs, we saw, I think it was in the tail end of the LCK Cup. I think it was good in the first stand, actually. She got like a Q nerfed early. Still just such an obnoxious laner. And we saw the other day, BDD doing a great job in the Ryze side of this matchup. And I know ShowMaker had a rough start to the lane, but Scout doing great on this side of the matchup. And
that's
getting
an engage cone, by the way.
Wow.
That is so rare. You were here when when we actually saw an engage cone. Crazy
And we got the replay to confirm it.
Wow.
Brendan Valdes approved engage cone.
That blast cone actually was used for good rather than evil. It's really good to see.
But what if he didn't use it? Wouldn't not using it also be evil by your metric?
Yes. Kingen's kind of like doing a lot of damage here to Siwoo, but ShowMaker gets in, so it's going to force Kingen to flash away and take his solo kill out of this. Siwoo trying to bait that one.
No, I just love throwing out the little Pog State reference that only they're going to get.
Only the Pog Staters. Kingen.
They deserve to get... Oh,
that was right on the edge there as well.
Wow. He's in a little bit of trouble. But he just have his jungler moving over. ShowMaker also taking a lot of damage right now. Okay, Lucid is coming with his armor pen that he got for free by leveling his ultimate.
Why is everything for free now? Kind of crazy.
In this economy?
You used to have to pay for that back in my day.
You had to buy your armor pen. Had to buy a Last Whisper. That was a full item.
Yeah.
It's not anymore. You have to upgrade it. What's up with that?
Yeah, everything's more expensive nowadays, except for free stats on your ults. So Lehends was trying to get in there. He was trying to get that hook down on a career, but career just gets away. Definitely a lot less action this time. It does feel like Nongshim, you know, there's not a million different places they can push DK. They can't just, you know, have their Anivia in between turrets this time around, so a bit more honest this time.
Yeah, this is what happens when there's not just like monumental lane gaps in all three lanes.
Yeah.
There has been lane gaps in two lanes, but it's kind of balanced because they're on opposite sides. Like, Scout is 30 CS up.
Lehends hooking around the wall. Really trying to make a play, especially with his entire team there with ultimates available. Smash getting pretty low. The ult goes in onto him, and he gets hooked as well. Down he goes, and the tanking is there. Lucid does access that backline, though. Gonna take out the Nautilus, but he's super low himself. And Taeyoon just collects a free double kill. ShowMaker has to flash again. And Sponge is so fast, he's got red buff here, too. Ghost about to come back for ShowMaker, but Flag and Drag available. He's going to miss it, but I think with a shield he should be fine. That's a kill going over to Scout, and another big win for Nongshim in an early team fight.
Yeah, huge team fight win there. And I think, honestly, here it was probably Lehends, the setup onto Smash. We saw this Corki getting a lot of value in these earlier trades, and it felt like the Nautilus just immediately shut him down. Smash, the ult flash buffer there, just to take him out of the fight. Doesn't get to play the game. And then Lucid goes in, but he kind of thinks, I don't have the damage to kill the Yunara. I'm going to turn onto the Nautilus, but the Nautilus has done his job. So you're just trading your life for a support who's already used all his buttons, and it just becomes an easy cleanup for Nongshim there. Especially as, Scout's just not being challenged at all. And he is extremely fed at this point.
Yeah.
He already had like a 30 chess lead over ShowMaker going into that.
Yeah, now he's almost 1,500 gold ahead. And, I mean, he has been essentially taking away ShowMaker's flash on cooldown. He's had Sponge around a lot as well. Whereas Lucid, he's playing the Ambessa, have to be a little bit more selective with where you're going to be going in for some of the ganks. And, yeah, just having so much control in the mid lane is really helping out Nongshim in this early game.
And, we had the content piece. A lot of people talking about Scout, his position as a legendary mid laner. He is a world champion, and we've seen some amazing plays, especially from his time in the LPL. But I feel like on the back end of his LPL tenure, there was some struggles. There was some struggles coming the LCK. But this level of play, he quite frankly gapped ShowMaker last game and is doing it again in this game. So looking for a great start to the season.
They're throwing everything into that one as Smash will pick up a solo kill. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, going back to this, Scout getting pretty low, but Lehends is able to peel for him. Sponge on the Jarvan's able to get back and pick up the kill, does Lehends. So, bit of a scrappy one in mid, but a solo kill for Smash down there is pretty good.
Yeah, Smash finding some good angles, and he's kind of been the shining light for Dplus in this game. He's been having good trades in lane, finding some good opportunities. He did get shut down by Lehends in that last fight, but it's so hard to play around mid. You have the CC setup from Sponge and Lehends, and then Scout is just already so strong. And they try and engage onto him. You get Lehends, the Locket coming through with the peel, and then Lucid just has no way to get out again.
Scout is surprisingly tanky already. And, well...
yeah, Taeyoon went in for this.
And he went back in as well.
Well...
just a little disrespect to the Corki, it feels like.
Yeah. Definitely so. And he picked up plated steel caps after that endeavor, so probably would have helped him if he had it before.
Probably. I would assume so.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And Nongshim, yes, they did lose their Yunara, but they're still winning everywhere else. And yes, I know Jayce is ahead, but Kingen, he's been able to stay alive. He didn't lose his turret. He's still Cassante at the end of the day. He was always going to fall behind in this lane, but with Scout this far ahead, and the Yunara still ahead on gold, it does feel like Nongshim, it's not as oppressive as game one, but they're still controlling this early game so well.
Herald being starting up. It looks like Dplus want to contest this. Here's tricky to approach. Oh.
All right. Well, I was just talking about Kingen. He's going on in, all out onto Siwoo, who tries to flash out of this one, and Kingen is not having it. He wants his solo kill, and he wants it now. Picks it up. 360 gold. And he is right back into that lane.
Played it so well. Connected everything he needed to, and once you have the Iceborne Gauntlet, the extra sticking power, so hard to deal with. Great play there from Kingen, and now Herald coming down mid for Nongshim just to make things a little bit worse. That should be tower taken. Here I'm going to pick up the gold as well. And tower under pressure bot.
They're pressuring bot tower, they're pressuring top tower, they're rift heralding in mid to pressure that turret and take it down.
Yeah, at the 10-minute mark, the game was pretty close. And we were like, hey,
yes,
it's a closer game. Things didn't go as bad. And then this happened. I mean, this was just literally connecting everything. The flash to follow as well.
바텀 잡은 거
Buffering the Q.
I think I got him, is what he said.
And he was right.
괜찮아.
너무 많아. 이건
Siwoo not happy after that.
Yeah. He needs ShowMaker to say something about that champion. We all know the copy pasta.
Trying to get in onto Lehends is Lucid. He's Ambessa after all. But kind of takes the worst part of that trade as in goes Sponge, and he's got an Orianna behind him, but the shockwave finally going to come down, but it's only onto Career. Still going to get the kill. Also picks up Lucid. Flash forward from Lehends, and he lands his ult on a 2. And one by one, DK are falling like flies, and now ShowMaker, he's getting pretty low himself, but Nongsim just really utilizing this lead very nicely, not scared to dive pretty deep in this bottom lane.
Yep, just charging forward and really using the health bars as a resource. Sponge got so low before he disengaged from the situation. Goes forward, Lucid flashes out and said, cool, I'll follow. I'll go in. I'll eat all your damage. Tanks it with the locket and flashes out at the last second. The shockwave very late to sort of grab them in. You even saw ShowMaker put the Realm Warp down as an exit for Career. Wasn't able to get him to safety. The Hens does end up going down, but his job is done. And they can't chase for more, but Nongshim just really pushing their advantage.
Yeah, I mean, they were so good about doing this in game number 1, but even in game number 2, here comes Taeyoon. He is going to have to cleanse that one, and the Nautilus is right there, and Career finds out what Core JJ had to think about that matchup, and now Lucid is just in there, just kind of dies. The knockback once again from Kingen, and that's going to be Taeyoon picking up another kill. And Nongshim look unstoppable tonight.
Absolutely. I mean, at this point, we were talking about this potentially being the... Oh,
Lehends. Beautiful play. Over the wall, gets the hook as Taeyoon just kind of dies to the turret for no reason, but that's okay. Lehends going to take the spotlight on that one and push their lead.
Yeah, a little unfortunate stop to the play with Taeyoon going down, but Lehends doing everything he can to set that one up. Third Dragon looking to be picked up. It's Mountain Soul again. And here, Taeyoon baits it out. The interrupt there from Lehends is phenomenal. And then Dplus are like, oh, we can't contest this. Chase down comes through. Lucid ends up going down. The shockwave comes in. And it's just easy pickings. The setup is so good. And they're just moving forward target by target. And here, the Hex Flash. Oh, pristine.
Yeah. You see Taeyoon got slowed up a little bit there.
Hence even tries to lock at him to save him. Yeah. It's just not enough. He's been getting a lot of locket value this game, but wasn't enough there at the end. Also, I want to say, Scout has actualizer Seraphs, which is not something I've seen on Orianna before.
And
I mean, he has the Jayce too, but like, imagine like you actualize it just before you shockwave for the big boom.
Yeah, I mean, Orianna, definitely a lot of burst damage. It does feel like actualizer, also, if used well, can be very good value.
You think about the other effect of it, which is often less talked about, is the cooldown increase on your basic abilities. Oh, run, Scout, run!
Oh, nice dodge. And now he's got his team. And look at him smash his health bar. He's just going to die to the Orianna just like that. A little bit of help from Lehends. And that'll be the end of this one, I think. Career's going to go down. Double kill for Scouts. And so, they just can't kill this guy.
You may notice Scout's mana bar very quickly emptied.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a reason for that. He pressed actualizer and he just actualized all over Dplus right there. You know, because it's also increasing the shielding he gets. It's also lowering the, like, it gives the cooldown acceleration, and he already has short cooldowns. So yeah, it definitely getting the value on it there. And Nongshim will just pick up the Baron. It's crazy because game 1, we came out of it like, okay, triple winning lanes, big draft advantage, but a struggle to close it out, and this game looks even cleaner. This was a great dodge, sidestep there. Actualizer comes in then for the shockwave. This damage is absurd. And like, look at the cooldowns coming through.
Yeah.
It's like he's playing it.
It's actually kind of insane, especially if you're ahead on Orianna. You can just blow people up like this, even with Seraphs first.
They went for that play. Since that play, he went from 10 to 18 Medjay stacks, and he got a Seeker's Arm Guard. So, good luck pulling that one off again.
I mean, they're not going to kill him. Like, there's just no way.
Yeah, like they were unsuccessful last time, and it just got significantly more difficult.
Trying to Realm Warp on top of him as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Lehends can kind of just hook anyone, I think, at this point. He is going to find the Leona, trying to just peel out of this one, but Kingen has other thoughts. Going to bring Career right back in. A Sponge. He's going to get out of there scot-free. And yeah, it's 22 minutes into the game, but it's 10,000 gold. It's 3 dragons. And Noshim, they've kind of cleaned it up. You know, last game they got picked a million times after they got a huge lead. And this time Kingen's just going to flash out of this play.
The glass is looking empty for Dplus right now. The glass is in pieces on the floor.
It doesn't exist anymore.
It is being reduced to molten.
Oh god, that combo.
Wow.
Like, what are you gonna do? The Orianna just does way too much, and with the Jarvan and Taxi the ball in, I mean, there's not really anything you can do at this point. They're just too far ahead. Taeyoon's gonna pick up the kill. And I believe, yeah, that's a double, so they will look for a little bit more. Not even gonna get Lehends, as he just laughs his way to the bank here against Siwoo, and I think that might just be it. 23 minutes. I mean, Noshim looking to push to end already, just dominating Dplus Kia with a 2-0 here in their first match of the LCK.
I mean, this is a great look for Noshim. You know, we had a lot of concerns after that performance in the LCK Cup. They have improved and spent their time wisely, taking down the 3rd place team from the LCK Cup in a very convincing fashion. And the fact that game 1 had a great start, but it was a little bit tumultuous, it made me think that, you know, maybe this was going to be a 3-game series.